I'm so sorry about that dog barking. I'm sure it's cute though. Let's give it treats. Hello everybody, I'm Miss MonMon. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be embracing the winter season and I will be sharing with you some tips and tricks on how to keep warm whilst wearing true vintage, vintage reproduction and pin-up styling. The first tip I can bestow upon you is layering. When you are getting dressed in the morning, start looking into thin singlets, camisoles, slips, things that go underneath your clothes that will create an extra layer of insulation and just keep you nice and toasty and warm. Sometimes if I am wearing a jumper, I will have a very thin t-shirt or even a singlet underneath just to keep my chest warm. But you can also be really sneaky and hide a pair of leggings. I wear thermal leggings sometimes under long pants. You can also wear leggings and perhaps you can find the leggings which actually have the feet attached to them and wear that as a stocking alternative. If you are going to wear a skirt or a dress and you want to stay warm, pop a lovely nylon petticoat underneath your skirt. The nylon, being a man-made material, will keep heat in and keep your legs really nice and warm. When it comes to your little Tootsie Loos, I cannot stand getting my feet wet. I do not like my feet being cold, which is why I invest in a really good pair of winter boots. This pair I have had for years and years and years. Yes, they have seen better days, but they really do keep my feet nice and warm. If you get a good pair of boots, you can get anything from ankle boots to knee-high boots. You can always hide extra socks inside. I sometimes go up half a size or a full size just so I can wear really thick socks with it and keep my toes really lovely and warm. If you are wearing stockings and your boots, you can always wear an extra pair of socks. I used to do that in high school and it definitely kept my feet nice and warm. My next tip is really embrace all the accessories. Now is the time to go out and buy your gloves, your scarves, your hats, your earmuffs. Just go out and enjoy all the wonderful, beautiful things that you can find to style up your vintage wardrobe. Now, some vintage purists will say you have to match your hat and your gloves together. I say do whatever you want. If you want a purple hat and pink gloves, go for it. If you want to go full matchy-matchy, that is completely up to you. Just embrace your own style and make sure to keep your hands, your neck and your head warm. My next tip is invest in a really good vintage-inspired winter coat. They are expensive, but they are also beautiful and worth it. I tend to shop for a lot of my winter clothing after the winter season has ended, as a lot of things go on sale. Or if you shop from overseas websites where the seasons are reversed, when I'm coming into winter, they are just coming into summer and they're trying to get rid of a lot of their vintage winter stock. That is a great time to shop. I have this beautiful collective swing coat, which is absolutely beautiful. I saved up for the longest time and adore it. It is so thick and so warm. And if you are looking for things that have a vintage feel, try and go for a coat that swings out at the bottom. It is a great way of staying warm. And continuing on from that is my next tip, which is wrap yourself up. Having a really beautiful, thick, big scarf will just keep your shoulders and neck warm. You can crochet or knit your own, which I often do. And I find that that is a really wonderful winter activity and you can just style whatever colors you want to match your winter outfits. So now you know how to style yourself and layer properly in winter. I hope you do stay warm in your vintage outfits, but there are also a few things to remember when you are looking at vintage pieces in terms of whether it will keep you warm or not. Once you are shopping for your vintage winter wardrobe, keep in mind what material the items are made out of. Look for wonderful thick cotton sateens, your woolen outfits such as woolen skirts. go out and shop for beautiful cardigans and jumpers, when you are layering your outfits, it is important to remember that it is better to have several thin to medium layers as opposed to 2 or 3 really thick layers. It'll make wearing your outfit a lot more comfortable to move in and get around with. So if you can wear a few thin layers as opposed to just 1 or 2 thick layers, you will be more comfortable and warmer in the long run. Another thing to remember when shopping is you don't have to go for dark colorings. As soon as winter hits, everyone dives into really deep and dark tones, and as beautiful as that can be, you can always wear bright pastels if that's what makes you happy. This is a great time to go out and embrace the colors. If you are going to be buying vintage reproduction, have a look at any reviews of how the item fared in winter. If you can't find any reviews, make sure to look at what fabrics they are made out of and try and decide whether you can layer it well. If after all this you are still feeling the cold, I do have a little sneaky secret which got me through living in Dublin, which is have a portable hand warmer. You can do this in 2 ways. I have this little reusable mini hot water bottle which you just pop into some boiling water for a few minutes and it'll hold the heat for several hours. I like to wear this either in my pocket so I can put my hands in and keep my hands warm. If I'm having really bad cramps, I can stick it along my tummy and then put my layers on to sort of attach it to myself. And you can also just pop it onto the small of your back. But pockets are a great way of keeping you warm. The second way is I find these stick-on pads, which are also heated. Now they don't release a ridiculous amount of heat, but they can just take the chill off. I buy these from Daiso, mainly because they have this super cute little llama on them, and I find that you can stick these to your clothing layers. Do not stick this directly onto your skin because you can risk burning yourself and being really uncomfortable. I always stick it to my first layer, which will probably be my camisole or a long sleeve t-shirt or something like that, and that way it'll keep you nice and warm. Alrighty, they are all my how to wear vintage in winter tips and tricks. I really do hope that all these suggestions keep you nice and warm and toasty in the coming up winter months. I know anyone in the US, you are now coming into summer, but I do have a summer tips and tricks video for you to watch if you want to learn how to keep cool in summer whilst wearing vintage and reproduction. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social media, I will have all the links down below. You can also like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you along for this journey of vintage, glamour and tomfoolery. Until next time, I hope you're all happy, healthy and safe. And remember to be kind, be true and be you. I'll see you next time. Bye!